Shabbat Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say Shabbat Shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a news article from MarketWatch.com for in the news for today on this August the 26th, 2022 at 4:33 p.m. Central Standard Time on this Friday afternoon on this Shabbat. And the highlight of this news article, and it reads, published on August 26, 2022, last updated August 26 at last updated August 26, 2022. And this is by Christian Ilzes and Joseph Anumoff, if I pronounced their last names right. And it reads, Dow Jones the Dow closes down 1,000 points. NASDAQ falls 3.9%. And after Powell warns of pain to households in inflation's battle. Right, because you got the consumer spending was still up high, even though it's slowed down a little drastically, a little bit, from 9.1 to 8.5 still. And then you got the inflation rate still increasing, even though it kind of eased a little bit, but it's still going to increase, as he just made that statement about, as they try to continue to battle and easing the inflation, because everything is constantly, consistently going up. The consumer spending, oil prices, gas prices, cost of living, food, etc. All these things constantly, consistently increasing, And it says all three major U.S. stocks benchmark booked another week of losses. The U.S. stock tumbles Friday with the Dow Jones Industrial Average closing down more than negative 1,000 points for its worst daily percentage drop since the month of May, which was 3 months ago, after a Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, said the central banks will continue its battle against the inflation until the job is done of getting the cost of living back to its 2% target. So, yep. As they continue to battle the inflation, to continue to ease it down, to find alternative, maneuver ways to ease the inflation as the inflation continues to increase, even though it's down at a slowly pace, but it's still rising as well too. And the consumer spending is high. The cost of living is high. The housing market not so good. The cost of living extremely high as usual. The cost of living, the gas, oil prices, even though the gas production price went slightly down, close to the second month mark, even though it's still in different parts of the city, in different cities throughout the United States, you still have gas prices still continue to increase. The increase of consumer spending, the increase of a high cost of food and high tax of food costs, paying your cell phone bill, paying rent, because the rent is increasingly going up as well too. Because I did a sit down lesson on that regarding that as well too. Because the cost of living is extremely high. The cost of paying your bills and stuff, having food on the table, clothes on your back, etc. Paying gas to get back and forth to work, taking your kids back to school or to daycare or whatever, get back into point A, point B, because the high cost of gas is constantly, consistently increasing as well too, as they try to, as the Federal Reserve of the Wall Street try to continue to tackle the inflation. I believe the Federal Reserve of the Wall Street said they're going to continue to have interest rate hikes, which not surprising, still as usual, as they continue to battle with the inflation rate, the cost of living, the employment, you know, and the economy as well too. As he mentioned, he said the job is not done until, you know, the job is not done until they get the economy back up, increase at an upper stance of 2%. 2%. As they continue to battle the inflation battle as well too. Yep. And I'm gonna bring out the usual scriptures that I always bring out for Babylon, Babylon. This is the book of Salakia. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 2. And he cried with a mighty, strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. Babylon the Great is fallen. Right? Because modern day Babylon, which is over here in the northern hemisphere, Babylon the Great is fallen. It's become because this is spiritual and physical modern day Babylon, according to the Holy Scriptures. Just like in ancient Babylon, this is modern day spiritual Babylon, over here in the northern hemisphere, And it's become a habitation of devils, and the whole of every foul spirit in a cage of unclean, hateful bird. Jeremiah 51:8. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take bond for her pain. If so, she may be healed, right? Because it's currently right now at the moment, as Babylon continues to decline, especially economically, with battling with the inflation rate, battling with the cost of living, battling with the housing market, battling with the stocks and bonds, the stocks exchange, because the stocks exchange is part of the economy as well too. With the stocks and bonds, these businesses, these CEOs and businesses, the ones that's actually funding to the stock markets and stuff like that. As the Federal Reserve continues to deal with the inflation and the battle of the inflation, try to continue to ease it, with the cost of living, gas prices, all of these things continue to exceedingly goes up, So expect to see it gonna increase more and more as modern day Babylon is falling on the economic scale. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. Through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Shai on this Shabbat. And I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem, Bakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered in the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom and above.